good, everybody? Brant here with CPC Bodybuilding, the best channel in men's classic physique. Today, I've got a preview of the IFBB Everest Pro in Warsaw, Poland. So this is going to take place Saturday, September 7th. We've got plenty of great classic physique athletes from Europe joining this show to try to punch their ticket to the Olympia this year. So I'm going to give you guys the full athlete lineup as well as my top 5 predictions. Let's go ahead and jump in, everybody. So starting out, there are a few of these guys here that you can see on the lineup who are not going to be competing. So if you want to see the lineup and updates from the competitors as well as callouts, you can follow me here on Instagram. My handle is CPC Bodybuilding, exact same as the YouTube channel name. So the Everest Pro lineup, we have Cremo Amari, Yanko Beno, Luca Corrado, Adrian Chironek, Roman Ayashenko, Mark James, Shin Kodama, Hubert Kolczynski, Roberto Paisana, Maciej Nabalgo. We will not see Julio Simoes, aka Julio Gorilla from Brazil, Estabon Smith, Thomas Sofranco, Patrick Teutsch, and Sebastian Thell. So that's our full classic physique lineup. I'm going to give you guys just quick hitters of each of the athletes and then give you guys my top 5 here at the end. Going to try to keep this one pretty quick. So starting out here, we got Cremo Amari out of Germany. This guy is pretty clearly one of the best classic physique athletes out right now who has not been to the Olympia before. He placed 3rd at the Tijuana Pro this year and placed right behind 2 guys who are already going to the Olympia, beat somebody who's been to the Olympia. So Cremo is a very, very good bodybuilder. He finished 2nd to Vahid Badpe at the Netherlands Pro a little bit earlier this year. This guy has like consistently been in the mix with some of the top pros. I think Cremo is going to do pretty great here. Next up, we have Adrian Chironek from Poland. And this is one of the best younger pros coming up that not a whole lot of people know about, but I think this guy could really make some noise, and this could be a breakout show for him here in his home nation. You can see great structure. His condition is always very crisp. The lines are great. He has great balance and flow to his physique, very small waist, and I think he'll do very well here. So that is Adrian Chironek. Next up, Luca Corrado from Italy. This guy's condition is always on point. And the front lat spread is probably my favorite pose from him you see here. Luca is just one of those guys who has really quality muscle. You can tell that he trains very, very precise, and he diets very hard. He always comes in just peeled to every show, and that's one thing that I will guarantee is Luca is going to be one of the most peeled guys here. So that's Luca Corrado from Italy. Next up, we have Roman Ayashenko from Ukraine. This is a 212 pro making his classic debut. And I think he actually, though he is a shorter guy, he could fit in with classic pretty nicely. Some people would maybe say that the legs are a little big. And I would actually say that, the only critique I have, which is something that he can't control, is he might just look a little bit different than some of these other guys because he's shorter. But I think his structure is really good, and obviously has plenty of muscle. He could surprise some people here. So that is Roman Ayashenko. Next up, we've got Mark James out of the UK. Now, Mark is, in my opinion, one of the hardest workers in classic physique. This guy has just worked for every bit of, achievement that he's had here in classic physique. So this guy turned pro naturally, competed as a pro naturally, and coming off of his first true offseason on the enhanced side, Mark is looking crazy. He's made some insane improvements, brought up basically like everything. He's gotten absolutely huge. He looked like he ate himself. Like Mark looks fantastic in these updates. He sent me some photos and some videos ahead of the show, and I think Mark is actually going to be, once he gets the carbs in him. Now this is from 3 weeks out, so this gives you an idea of what his condition is going to be like. He's going to be lights out. I think Mark's going to be one of the most conditioned guys in the show, but also one of the most complete guys in the show. He's really, really going to stand out because he's structurally very gifted, but he also just has great proportions all around. So that is Mark James out of the UK. Next up, we have Shin Kodama out of Japan. He last competed at the Tokyo Pro. And, one of the better Masters pros out there. You can see that he brings great detail throughout his entire physique. The lower body's great, glutes, hams, back double bicep right there. And this is a guy who he's just very, very etched in. The lines are extremely crisp. So that is Shin Kodama. Next up, we have Hubert Kolczynski from Poland. This is one of the OG classic pros from Poland. I want to say he was either the first or second guy out of Poland to turn pro in classic physique. And in the earlier days of the division, he actually placed pretty well in some of these lineups. Now, I think as he's gotten older, his legs have started to kind of fall a little bit behind his upper body, but he's also a taller guy. So that could also be part of the equation, but he's got great structure. You can see he's very, very wide. It's a really nice front double bicep there. So that is Hubert Kolczynski. Next up, we have Thomas Safranko. And Thomas is out of Poland. And this guy just has really, really nice structure. This is going to be his pro debut, I believe. And you can see the wheels are pretty nuts. Like the quads are really impressive. I think the lines are extremely crisp. You can see the teardrop just super carved out. The midsection's good. He doesn't have the smallest waist, but he has huge lats to make up for it. Big quads as well. This is Thomas Safranko. There is another athlete who I need to pull up. This Roberto Paisano out of Spain. I don't know if he has an Instagram, actually. We'll see, guys. I'm doing this one on the fly, as you can tell. Roberto Paisano. Okay, yeah, here we go. So this guy is, I've actually seen him compete before. So this is at the European Pro. He's got really good structure. Ultimately, I think just bringing more fullness to the stage is going to result in better placings. Like that front relax is extremely clean. Really good ratios. Small waist, big lats, broad shoulders. Lines in the quads are pretty deep. Pretty impressed there. And he looks great. So that is Roberto Paisano out of Spain. Next up, we have Mikolaj Naalo making his pro debut out of Poland. And this is a younger guy, I believe. He's 22, which is really impressive. This guy's got crazy density for how young he is. You can see the hamstring drop. Just all the lines in the lower body are pretty nuts, dude. The side chest is a great shot for him. Great density in the arms. The biceps really stand out to me. I would say probably the one area for improvement for him is just putting on more quads. That's really about it. In 182 centimeters, I'm not familiar with the conversion to inches, but I think that means he's a taller guy. So that would probably be the reasoning for the quads not being quite as wide. I also think he could pose it differently, but the detail is super crisp and he looks really good, especially knowing that it's his pro debut. So that is Mikolaj Naalo out of Poland. Next up, Estabon Smith out of Spain. This is one of the dark horses without a doubt. Estabon, this shot is just nuts to me. This front double bicep, between the overall structure and shape that he has with the flow from the lats to the waist to the quads, this is like a nasty shot. The detail throughout the lower body, the arms are like the perfect size. This guy just has a great front double bicep, and to be able to hit that straight on just says a lot about a physique. Like this guy looks insane, and if he shows up like this on stage, I mean, this guy could win the show. So that is Estabon Smith. And lastly, we have Sebastian Thell out of France. This is one of the better posers in Europe. I think that's his calling card, is he knows how to pose pretty well. Really good structure. I would say probably my one critique is he just needs to come in sharper, because I think he's been pretty consistently like in that 5 to 10 range of most shows that he's competed in. But his condition, as you can see, I think it could be better. I think he just looks a little flat in my opinion. So maybe just filling out a little bit more. It also could just be, not having dieted quite as hard as he needed to, but like he's right there. Just, I think a couple more weeks of dieting or just filling out more, or a combination of the two, is a solution to this. He could definitely do very well here in this lineup. So that is Sebastian Thell, and that's the full classic physique lineup. I'm going to give you guys my top 5 picks, and I'm just trying to calibrate in terms of who I want to put where. Let's see here. So I think in 5th place, I'm going to go with Sebastian Thell. Pretty proven on European stages. Like I said, pretty consistently a 5 to 10 type of guy. Usually, like, tail end of first call out, somewhere in the second call out type of guy. I think structurally he carries himself very well and represents classic in that regard. Ultimately, I think the guys who beat him are either just going to be more muscular, more conditioned. So that is Sebastian Thell in 5th place for me. In 4th place, I'm actually going to go with the 212 pro, Roman Iashenko out of Ukraine. I think this guy is going to be just crazy muscular. He's not going to be the prettiest physique on stage, but he holds his own. I think his structure is really good, even though he is a 212 pro, going to be one of the shortest guys there, if not the shortest, but his conditions there, the muscularity's there. And, depending on how this show is judged, I think he could do extremely well. So I've got Roman Iashenko there in 4th place. In 3rd place, I'm actually going to go with Mark James out of the UK. Now, I think Mark could even win this show, depending on what the final look shapes up to be and kind of what effect the carbs have in terms of the carving up process. He's still relatively flat in the updates he sent me today. We can pull those up, actually. And I actually said Mark horse for this show. Now, the lighting's not the best here, but he is absolutely peeled. He's got great shape. I think Mark is going to do extremely, extremely well. I've got him in 3rd. In 2nd place, this might actually come as a surprise to you guys. I'm going to go with Adrian Chironek out of Poland. I think this guy structurally is really, really tough. And he may even be able to edge Cremo Amari out in terms of structure. I do think he's probably not going to be as big as Cremo, so that's why I've got him in 2nd place here. But he's got beautiful flow to his physique, great proportion, and the crispness of the muscle is just a very healthy look. But he's dry, he's grainy. It's like the perfect balance of everything. That's the way I would describe Adrian. So I've got him in 2nd place. And then just being the most proven guy out of this entire lineup, it's really hard to not pick Cremo Amari. I've got Cremo winning this show. He was 3rd in Tijuana, 2nd in the Netherlands. I think this guy is the most complete bodybuilder on stage, and that's why I've got him as my winner here for the Everest Pro in Poland. So those are my picks, guys. I want to thank you again for watching CPC Bodybuilding, the best channel in men's classic physique. Now, before I get out of here, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and also give me a follow on Instagram. The handle is CPC Bodybuilding. So that's going to do it for the video today, guys. I'm Brant signing out. Make sure you guys keep it classic. I'll see you later.